Almost there. We're gonna be okay. I love you. Both of you.
We love you too. Oh my god!
Hold on!
Hello, welcome back to the channel with me, Dragonborn McQueen. This is my final roundup of Fallout 76. Last night I got to partake in the last day of the beta. The final 5.5 hour stream is up on the... It was 6 hours it was actually up for, but I managed to get 5.5 hours, which I think is ample time, and I've spent many hours, most of it chronicled on my channel. So you can go check that out if you so wish here on the channel. Now, the reason why that intro, I guess I should explain it. I sort of pause. I'm not here to say that his channel's bad or anything, but I found this video to be particularly worthy of criticism. And if I could record bits of the video, I would. But I'll link it in the description if I remember, or just look up the channel. It's his latest video on there as of the time of this recording. But I'll try and link it so it's there for future reference. What he actually says is that he feels that Zenimax is behind the marketing and there were some bizarre marketing choices, and I'd like to address that, because I kind of thought, well, perhaps he's got a gaming background, or perhaps he's coming from somewhere else, or perhaps he understands marketing, or perhaps he's worked in marketing, or perhaps he's worked in sales, because sales and marketing teams work very closely together. After all, they're the people that get the product out the door and into the consumer's hand, so or the public's, into for us guys, into the shops at least, and then the shops supply us. Supply and demand. Anyway, we're not here to discuss supply and demand, but he did eventually, partway through the video, I mean about halfway through the video, so not to discredit him completely, and say that I think he's wrong, and I think what is top 10 videos are very good, top 5 whatever, top 7, top whatever number I can think of that will fit my narrative. Anyway, I think they're quite entertaining for what they're worth. But this public opinion piece, it clearly showed a lack of understanding. Someone with that many followers, you would think, would have an inkling of a clue, would have done a little bit of research, because he said he felt that Zenimax was behind all the decisions, and they decided to use the engine in that. Well, no, they weren't, because if we watch the No Clip documentary, which I've watched several times and I watched again recently, it's actually Todd Howard who says Fallout 76 was developed alongside Fallout 4. We developed it as the online. There's always a multiplayer version that we always develop, and then later on we scrapped it, but we thought this one was so good we would release it. So it was their decision. It was Todd Howard's decision. I mean, what do I know? I only worked in the games industry with sales and marketing and that sort of thing. So he's questioning the marketing decisions to put it in front of people like, I think they used a UFC champion fighter in Australia, and they used someone who's into sports, and he's like, well, why didn't they market it to the RPG fans and all the people that game? Because they know about it. We watch E3, we know about it. What's the point in marketing to people that already know about a product? That defeats the object of marketing. If you're going to market something, you want to reach a new audience. You want to reach people that perhaps would not know about the product, would not watch these events, would not attend these conventions, would not scour the internet, would not follow Bethesda on Twitter. That's the point of marketing and sales. They have to reach new audiences. They expand the reach beyond that of which is the obvious reach. So to find it was laughable and preposterous. I thought the whole idea that he was saying it was a Zenimax decision, and he felt it was Zenimax's idea, and Zenimax came up with this idea. I mean, Zenimax came up with the idea for New Vegas, which was everyone heralds as being one of the best Fallout games of history. So now Zenimax are making bad decisions. It doesn't make sense. I think it was a decision by the team that develops Fallout 4, Bethesda Softworks, to release the game because they felt it was a good game and it was worthy of release. And here's the thing, it is. It's not without its faults, that's for sure. I mean, during last night's stream, I discussed it with the person I game with quite often, and we talked about it, Slayer Legend, and that's his username anyway. We were chatting about it and talking about it and saying it's kind of become a circus. You know, the meme train has ran with it, and to try and it's currently trendy to beat on Bethesda and say stop using this old engine. And but this is the last hurrah of the engine, I feel, and they are going to continue working on it. They're not saying, right, well, we've released it, that's it, we're going to put the product down and walk away now, we're done, get on with it, here's a buggy mess, have fun. No, this game's getting continual support and will be continually updated and get patches and get improved and polished, and they're listening to fans, which is the way forward for any MMO or online game, or any game that has heavy online content. What the problem is here, I think, is change. People's fear of change. It's something new, something different, and they don't know how to react to it. But last night, if you watched last night's stream, I was flagging at one point. I was really struggling to stay awake. And I was like, I'm gonna call it a night. And then we came across something. It was just like that became our focus. We looked into it, we explored it, and I forgot about being tired. And I really ran with it. I will be doing pictures of Appalachia. I'll be doing postcards from Appalachia on the channel, which will be all the pictures I've taken to music. I tend to do that sort of thing on this channel, if you're familiar with the channel. So that'll be a little video that I'll do, and that's going to have me and Slayer Legend in, you know, showing the fun we were having, because there is certainly fun to be had in Fallout 76, make no bones about it. There are errors, there are problems, I've detailed them all in my video. Another thing we did find, by the Nuka-Cola factory, the actual bottles have no sprite collisions on them, there's no collision detection, so we were walking through bottles. That's in the very start of last night's stream, if you want to go and check out that footage. I can't actually put it on here, this is just footage I happened to have captured whilst wandering around. That's why it's a bit jumpy, it jumps in places, you just saw there. That's not a fault of the game, that's a fault of the recording, because my hard drive, I think, has taken a beating, and it's a PlayStation, so it's very hard for it to capture details. Anyway, enough of that. Fallout 76. It's really good with other people. I think if I got a team of people and I was playing with all people like Slayer Legend, we were sitting there, we stop, we take pictures, we mess around, you know, we get involved with the whole thing. We're looking at the whole game, the whole story. People are like, oh, it's not a very good survival game. It's not a survival game. It's not a very good shooter game. It's not a shooter game. It's an RPG. If you don't know what an RPG is, it encompasses lots of elements and does lots of different things. So this has the ability to change your character's appearance, the ability to explore, the ability to uncover stories, the ability to have, you know, the realistic survival, but not too much that it's overpowering. I mean, if you did tabletop gaming, this is what it is. Western RPG tabletop gaming is essentially what Bethesda have turned into a computer game version. They've taken that concept and put it in games. Now, yeah, the creation engine is a little old. It will need repairing. It will need, you know, updating. In fact, it will need scrapping and probably a new engine being designed. Hopefully, though, when they get to a position where they can do that, because it isn't cheap to develop an engine. Not at all, you know. It costs millions, and people are like, Bethesda are earning so much money in that. Yes, but they still have overheads, and they still have, you know, you kind of got to think of all these things. It's ludicrous to say they're making all this money and they've just purely got all this money and that's it. They're running off with it. I mean, I am speculating a little here, but I kind of think to say, yeah, it's been blown out of proportion, and I think that, you know, my comparison I made earlier was, and I wrote it in the description of my first video where I talked about the good points about Fallout 76, which I still hold by, before I played a bit longer and said, well, look, here are the issues that I've noticed playing through, and there are some issues, and I've added to that just now. I said it was kind of like taking something Gordon Ramsay had cooked, halfway through cooking it, taking it out the oven and eating it, and then going, well, Gordon, this isn't your best work, is it, if you're honest? Well, of course not. You know, that's how I find reviewing a beta. Day one, though, now we kind of got an idea of the kind of fixes they're putting in there. I'm hoping there's a bit more stability. We found a bug quest last night. We went to do something, it bugged out, and one of the dailies at the theme park, because we found a theme park as well, and that was really good. And we found a massive mining complex, and it was all charred ground, radiated, well, lava, everything. It was brilliant, and I can't wait to show you the photos, and if you haven't seen the stream, go check it out. I mean, the last 2 or 3 hours we were just exploring this place and fighting, and yeah, and it was fantastic, and it was an experience to be had, and that is what Fallout games are all about, experiences to be had. And I think there are going to be experiences to be had once you find some like-minded people, and once the glory hunters die away and we're left with the die-hard Bethesda fans like myself and who's on screen at the moment, and you know, the people that kind of get up in the morning and worship shrines of Todd Howard and have dogs that look like dog meat but long-haired versions, and all the other things we do, and and drive our family insane by asking for stupid things like Skyrim Monopoly board games. I mean, who would want to own such a thing? And pester everyone like, play it. The kids are like, for God's sake, Dad, will you stop asking for Monopoly board? Come on, Monopoly, come on, play. It's Skyrim Monopoly. It's not just Monopoly. It's Skyrim Monopoly. I mean, I think the reason why people are more angry now than they were, when Skyrim came out, Bethesda was a small programming company. Now they're owned by Zenimax. They have access to more resources and they have access to more. But their games have improved. I mean, if you look at this next to Skyrim on consoles, it's much better. I know PC, there are some issues with stuff like that. I can't play it in 4K. You can't see in 4K either, so it doesn't matter whether you can play it in 4K or not. 4K is just a marketing tool. Wake up and smell the coffee. Anyway. Fallout 5, not Fallout 5, sorry, the PlayStation 5, the next PlayStation that Sony have hinted at, I think, and the next Xbox, next generation consoles, will hopefully be able to bring us Starfield, which will probably be developed on a new engine. I think Todd's kind of hinted at that at E3. He said, what I want to do, and definitely in the No Clip interview, he said, what I want to do with Starfield cannot be done currently. And that was pivotal, and that was very important, and I thought that really piqued my interest, you know, as a Bethesda fan. Anyway, going back to Fallout 76, I think this is going to be where they're going to be getting some income. People are saying, oh, it's just there to make money, they're going to monetize everything. We know we're getting DLC for free, we know we're getting continued support, we know we are the Atom Shop's there. I mean, we were messing around with the Atom Shop. We did find a few things with the Atom Shop that were a little bit frustrating. Like, you couldn't gift something to someone. You can't trade an item that you brought from the Atom Shop. And you can't, perhaps that's to stop you doing it accidentally, but you can't actually drop that item and then give it to someone else. As soon as you drop something that you've purchased with Atom, it disappears. We were kind of exploring that side of things. So, interesting. I kind of understand why Bethesda are doing it. They're trying to protect their investment, but I think the fans should be given that leeway. You know, if somebody wants to kind of gift something to another person, they should be able to. It's their decision at the end of the day. Anyway, I like the variety of weapons in Fallout 76. I like the fact that there is lots to do. I didn't find at any point I was reading a terminal and I thought, oh, I'm being distracted by everyone around me. Occasionally I had to pop out the terminal, and you can all read a terminal at once, which is something very interesting. But yeah, occasionally you have to come out and fight something, but that's no bad issue. That keeps you on your toes. And you know, in real life, if you're reading a computer terminal and somebody comes at you with a large axe or tries to shoot you, you are going to react. You're not going to continue reading the terminal. I know it's a little. I think they should try and make a quick release system for the game where you come off terminals quicker, so you can react quicker. Because it's a bit annoying standing there and waiting for that animation where you come out and you're getting shot and you're taking damage. That's a little bit frustrating. And I think Bethesda, you know, will probably address these things further down the line. There are more important and bigger key issues that the game has, but that is going to be an annoyance. I think there are other things that we've discussed in previous videos, like but I don't think. I think perhaps a better UI for Bethesda for PC owners would help, but I'm on console. I'm quite happy with it. It takes a little bit of getting used to the controls and stuff, and you know, the animations perhaps need a little bit of smoothing up, but it's not too bad. It's not awful, and I've played online games that have stutter and jump and lag issues. Even Fortnite has lag issues. I mean, that game is optimized. Of course, that's still in early access. It has been for about 3 years now. However how long it's been out. You know, the longest early access I've ever heard of. So that's still in its alpha, and they're making money off it. So I think Fallout 76 has got a life ahead of it. From a Bethesda fan's point of view, I think I will continue playing this. I will be streaming this. This will be on the channel, undoubtedly. I'll be playing it daily. I'm looking forward. I'm getting my physical copy on the 13th, and I'll probably put some pictures on my Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm at Noel J. Gillum. That's my dog joining. Hello, Mason. What do you want, mate? So yeah, he's come to say hello. Fallout 76 will be on the channel, and I'll probably start streaming it as soon as I can. I think we're having some work done in the house on the 14th, but I will stream it if I can on that day or in the evening. I look forward to streaming more Fallout 76. I look forward to checking it all out, taking more pictures, doing all the things. Oh, I filmed my pictures as well. I was a bit annoyed that I could film my pictures. We need to be given more picture size as well as storage space. So I'm going to probably try and bring this attention to Bethesda's, probably bring this to Bethesda's attention. Anyway, I've waffled on for nearly 20 minutes, and I think don't listen to all YouTubers in regards to Fallout 76. I think watch lots of different people, make up your own mind, and see what people are saying. Some people are saying cancel your pre-orders. I think that's a bit harsh. If you enjoy the Fallout universe, if you enjoy Fallout games, I think you will enjoy this, undoubtedly. And there's nothing more fun than, even if just 2 of you or 10 of you or however many you can get in a group, or just wandering around together. It's good fun. And if you like Fallout, it's not to be missed. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit a like on here, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.